All right, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, March 16th, 2026, shortly after 10 a.m. Central. Um, did anyone have an eventful weekend? I know in the Midwest here we had a blizzard roll through, but anyone do any real estate stuff?
And we are live.
Perfect.
Someone did a lot of real estate this weekend.
Who?
Damien.
Oh, on fire. That's right. I did see some stuff come across.
It's about time. I've been working with some of these buyers for like 2 years, so it's definitely a good feeling.
Yeah, you had a great weekend.
Right on. I love that. Um, I've been working on different things, lots of different things. So just head down. Um, does anyone have anything top of mind that they want to talk about on this casual coffee chat Monday? Did you get a chance to call your association and find out how to file a complaint?
Doing it today.
Okay. Let me know if you need my help. Awesome. Friday, I'm going to do another NAR versus non-NAR for people interested in that, like how to do residential real estate. I was actually pretty proud of myself. So I was like, why? Like, I knew we had a solution for this, but like, what is happening? So I finally remembered that through the My State MLS membership, our residential agents can actually do a CMA through My State MLS. They partnered with Realtor.com. So there's this behind the scenes Realtor.com pro dashboard. And so you can literally get data from anywhere except in states that are non-disclosure states like Texas. There's like hardly any data. So that stinks for Texas agents. But I was able to do, I mean, it was a decent CMA, right, Kyle? Like I think luxury presence aesthetically is definitely nicer, but
Yeah, my state MLS looks like you're typing something into a government computer from like the 90s, but you know,
right after you're done playing Oregon Trail.
my kids are playing Oregon Trail right now and they keep dying from dysentery. I'm like, oh, now you're like a millennial or you're being raised by one.
So this is probably just off the wall, random. I'm
Great.
curious about.
Love it.
Uh, so I've come across some listings here that are obviously from like out of state agents who have never even seen the property, been at the property, things like that. How are consumers like finding these people? And I'm assuming they like have much lower like discount commission rates. I was just curious if anybody had any information on that.
Yeah, well, I a lot of times I see those like websites that come up that are like, hey, list your home on on the MLS for, $99 or something. So it's basically like they're just taking consumer data and then feeding it through my state MLS. Now they should still be, that's probably how they're doing it because you can't, trying to think. Where's the
Limited
line?
run.
Where's the line between marketing a FSBO and this is why I'm not a fan of FSBO companies because I'm like, where's the line between helping a FSBO market and like practicing real estate? So yeah, they would need an Iowa real estate license to practice real estate, but to help a for sale by owner market, the commission doesn't really go after people for that, which is wild. So my guess is that they have some relationship with some of the national places and they're driving it through and these websites are just advertising to consumers like, hey, list your home for a discount rate. So
Well, and there's one guy too that I've seen him now a couple times on TikTok. He is not licensed, he's not an agent. He's a marketing consultant for real estate. And so you pay him a flat fee and it has nothing tied to the commission or anything like that. And he will market your property for you, which I'm like, how is that even legitimate? And he's getting it on, I don't know if it's my state, but he's getting it on one of the third party portals to get syndication. But my question is, I know like for in South Dakota, that's not allowed. There's a state like ordinance or law that says you can't do that. You can't market a real estate property if you're not a licensed agent. However, he's syndicating through a third party company and getting his listings in South Dakota. So that's the weird thing about it to me. It's like even if a state puts like a, you know, a law on the books, how are these third party, companies really differentiating? They're obviously not. They're just syndicating to anybody who will publish the listing. So it's interesting.
There's a big producer in Oregon who markets 1% listing fee, which is like a step above limited representation, but they are all about volume. They don't care about undercutting the competition on price or services, but they don't get repeat business. So it's not like sustainable, you know? Great, you do a lot of volume, but your people are so pissed at you by the end that they'll never work with you again. Maybe that works short term, but not long term for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I think the messaging I try to get across to consumers is that the value of a real estate agent isn't even the marketing part. Like sometimes it is depending on the market, but the value of the experienced real estate agent is from contract to close and the whole negotiation process and navigating inspections and appraisals and because we do it every day versus someone that does it once every 3 to 7 years. Um, but it's amazing how people will trip over, I forgot what the saying is, right? But step over a dime to pick up a nickel or something. Um, it's amazing how people will trip over themselves to save a few dollars and it ends up costing them so much in the end. Like I'm sure there's exceptions to that where in certain markets they're just flying off the shelves and whatever, when they don't give nobody cares. But I think overarching, it's crazy.
Well, I think that's a big, what you said, Holly, is going to be a huge shift in the market or in the marketing as us for agents moving forward. Because as we see more access to the MLS become just open to anybody, you know, the marketing piece doesn't really matter that much anymore. And like pricing, yeah, sure, a little bit. But ultimately, for a long time, that was how you'd go to listing appointment and you'd have 10 pages of your marketing plan and 1 page of contract to close. The funny thing about it is 90% of the lawsuits that agents get into our contract close, but we never talk about the risk mitigation part of that because we were always about marketing. But now the marketing place is continuing to getting downplayed. And I think that risk mitigation that we have as agents because of our experience is what will start differentiating um, agents in those listing appointments and even working with buyers too, telling people like anybody now, everybody has access to homes, the MLS, like homes are more available than ever, but you're paying me, or hopefully the seller side is paying me to protect your interest and risk mitigation. And we're almost becoming more like an attorney now, not like from a legal standpoint, but like we're all about risk mitigation. And that's something that for a long time hasn't been a point that we've really talked about because we always just focused on marketing and, slick pictures and stuff like that.
That's a really great point. Damien, I'm glad you brought this up because I think that that is really key as far as messaging to agents and consumers that our value is contract to close because yeah, AI, ChatGPT can tell someone how much, roughly how much their house is worth or that house they want to write an offer on, but can't tell them necessarily how to, navigate or go through the things that sometimes we go through. There's always crazy stories from you guys coming up. I'll think I heard it all and then I get a call. So it's just crazy.
I think we all need to refine our little elevator speeches, the things
Yeah.
that we tell our clients that are like, hey, it's great if you want to hire a discount broker so long as nothing goes wrong. You know, the second something goes wrong, you're going to want somebody with some expertise, and that's me. And here's why. Here are the challenges that, may come up, even negotiating repairs. Do you want somebody that's just like, yeah, whatever? You want someone that's going to go to bat for you, knows the market, knows their fellow agents in the market, um, and can provide some real value.
Exactly. And I remember listening to a podcast about this guy that started a real estate company and failed. And I thought it was fascinating to listen to. This was probably 8 to 10 months ago. But I can find it if you guys want to listen to it. But he basically said that was his problem, is he went into it with this mindset that he could open up this portal and he could just hire local agents to show houses, but then, his team would handle negotiations, all this stuff. But it failed miserably because people wanted local area experts. They wanted the relationships with the other agents. They wanted, because it gives you an edge, whether people like to admit it or not, it does give you an edge. It's why it's important that you treat the other agents on the other side, like a human being. So it's so fascinating you bring that up. And then yesterday, I remember coming across something that was like, that's why we need to go back to, stop it, Brian. That's why we need to go back to the basics in terms of like on your agent YouTube channels, your content should be more about your community and that, not so much I'm a realtor, rah, but what can you do to provide value in your community? And Emily, you're pretty good about that. I don't know when the last time you've done it is,
Yeah.
but kind of going around to the different restaurants and making
Mhm.
videos and the different activities going on. And I think
Yeah.
that we really need to circle back to that and I'll start doing it,
Yeah, and even like the like right now I'm doing a giveaway for like meals, and I'm like choosing like the restaurant that I'm ordering meals from is actually a local business too that's like struggling right now. And it's like in a way I'm supporting the ones in need for food, but then also I'm supporting the local business that needs the business, right? And then like doing like short content video, like 15 seconds to like a minute or two, just like a walkthrough what you're ordering, or like featuring the restaurant or bakery or whatnot. Like that's what I love to. I used to do it more, but I've like filmed so much everywhere to where I'm like, okay, who's next?
But right before you were said they were struggling, I was like, you can get sponsor dollars for that or have them like split the cost with you. But you're not doing it for that reason. So, but just keep that in mind for some companies that you work with that aren't struggling, right? Like
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
you have value there. So,
Yes, I agree.
all right, awesome. Any final thoughts before we close her out? All right. So, I'm Wednesday, we're going to be doing the showing time training. And so you can start advertising your listings through, not showing time. I'm sorry.
I
Zillow
was
Showcase.
like, showing time?
Zillow
Zillow
Showcase.
Showcase.
And then Friday I'm doing the practicing residential real estate without NAR. So that'll be fun.
Hey, we've had a lot of success with those Facebook ads we've ran about NAR versus non-NAR options, and people are extremely curious about this topic. So if you know of any agents, usually there have been agents that have joined us as a result of these ads, and then they, join the NAR side of things. But just the fact that we provide that choice and that education is something that is really piquing agents' curiosity. So I think it's a really, really good topic to invite any agents to that you would like to maybe see come over to MyRico, or that you think might be interested in that topic in general. So just my plug there. Last time Holly did that course or that class, it was really good. It got a lot of buzz. So
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. And in fact, I'm going to make a few changes and make it even better, right? So I'm excited about that.
one step better every time.
All right. Any final thoughts?
Our true crime Tuesday tomorrow is the update of the Alexander brothers, the little rapey boys. I just can't wait to just go to town on them now that they've been convicted. I don't have to say allegedly. I don't have to say none of that shit now. So I'm excited to do that because number one, not only is it an extremely hot topic right now in the news, but also it was one of our very first true crime episodes that we did. And now that we're kind of starting to find our format and our vibe, I think it'll be cool to do an update, kind of retell the story with a little bit of personality in it. And then go from there. But again, the whole reason we do true crime in real estate is facts tell, stories sell. We want you to be a storyteller in the way that you sell as a real estate agent. So what better way to do this than lead by example in our trainings? Do we have any issues with Twitch on the crime scene cleanup?
I don't know. I don't think we've gotten any flags yet. So maybe nobody's watched it that long. that far into it.
I think as long as you're not showing nudity or talking about far right stuff, then you're okay on Twitch.
Oh,
Oh, that's interesting. Awesome. I watched you guys, by the way, on Twitch, made lots of trolling comments on there. I did want to say on what I said was that Damien, you had a great question. Like that was a great topic to ask about. I said to Holly, oh, I said the Oregon Trail is woke to Kyle. And I said the new one, at least. And I said to Holly that we should maybe interview Bob Stroop about his like FSBO company and what he does to get consumer. I think he runs one of the better companies out there, but we might at least get some insight of what these shit bags are doing, right?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know he's worked really hard on websites and stuff. So give him a call, see if we can have him on, pick his
Is
brain.
it Stroop or Strupp?
I need to ask. I always say Strupp in my head.
So by the way, you guys, like I get along with Bob now, but when I tell you this man was triggered when I had this little Funko Pop, and this was like in 2017, I had a Funko Pop of Donald Trump on my desk at Remax. He flipped out on me. I thought he was kidding at first, so I started like making him dance. I was like doing a Trump impression with, nope, it was not funny to him. He basically said I'm destroying the country with my vote, all kinds of things. So yeah, he definitely was like that is the definition of triggered exactly. So maybe I'll ease up on the Trump talk when he comes in.
Some
We're
people
very
don't
excited
like
to have
it.
Bob.
Some people.
Everyone says he's the best FSBO company out there.
Oh my God. All right. I feel like it's time to close this out.
Oh, one more thing before we close this out.
Okay.
I've been having lots of fun editing videos because I'm releasing a series just of videos and clips this week because of our anniversary. And so just be on the lookout for that stuff out there. Yesterday's was about my whole list debacle that I was convinced I had a stroke the night before and it went on way too long. We'll probably be throwing Emily's famous clip out there, which she hates, but it's got to happen. It's my Rico history, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that there's some of that stuff. And then we have a brand new agent that just joined us, Javier Mendoza out of Texas. What part of Texas, Holly? Do you know off the top of your head?
Don't know.
Put you on the spot. I can't remember either, but he's a cool dude. So you'll be seeing more of him around as well. So all right, Holly, close us out.
All right. When in doubt, reach out, message us if you need us. We are here for you. We all started this morning with a blank slate at 0. So go out and talk to a buyer, a seller, or an agent today. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, everybody.